Hey, Secret Purpose. I went off the path of the channel in a way to do some further preparation for international travel in order to do the same sort of thing that I've been doing all over the world, as was the Secret Purpose mission. So I still have a lot of fear and self-doubt, and I don't know what the prospectus is from all angles 2023 going into the future when it comes to international travel, because certain doors open and certain doors close, certain big doors open and certain big doors close in terms of the wars that are going on right now and conflicts and all sorts of things that I don't know about. So I have to have faith and belief on top of at least a little bit of rationality, hopefully developing more of that. But I'm in Chicago right now, and I've just been awarded a 10-year visa, multi-entry visa, 60 days at a time, for the People's Republic of China, which is blowing my mind. I feel like that added 10 years to my life just right then. There's something about that really fills me with a lot of satisfaction, and it makes me feel more free. It's an interesting experience to feel more free, knowing that I could spend a significantly more time in an authoritarian communist country for the next decade of my life. And it is an authoritarian communist country. But government only governs so much of land. But I don't want to downplay how much the CCP and the Chinese government does in fact govern China. It might be dangerous for me to do so. But that process was tedious in its application, but there were a lot of green lights. As I walk through a green light right now, reminded of Matthew McConaughey's book that took off. There was just a lot of things that were really smooth with that, and I'm comparing in reviews to other people's experience, and my experience was a lot more fluid than other people's have been. I did have to redo my application once 5 days ago when I came down here to put the application in, and that was very, 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 very stressful for like a short period of time, because I didn't know, just like a headache with details and unexpected details. Thank God that I did expect many of those things. The only thing I had to do with my application was put a space in between my first and middle name, and put my first and middle name in the place of the first name or the given name on the Chinese visa application. But 5 days later, I got it. I requested 120 days at a time, or 180 days at a time rather. And I didn't get that. I got 60 days at a time. But the actual length of the visa is 10 years. That's the longest you can get. Only US and Canada passport holders seem to be able to get that. And I got it. And there's like a little, I don't know, like the 17-year-old version of me who started studying Chinese, listening to Wang Fei songs and things like that. The last Chinese visa I had was 12 years ago, and it was good for 1 year. And I went for 1 month out of that 1 year. So how much will I be in China over the next decade? I don't know. I'm scheduled for 1 month. And I'm also scheduled to go to Manila for 1 month, Philippines, before that. And that visa there's a visa process there. I can go 30 days there with no visa, just with my U.S. passport. But there's also like I think there's a 3-year visa. You can get 3-year tourist visa. I think like a single entry in Philippines, but it takes financial records and things like that. I don't know if my application is good enough, but I didn't know if my application was good enough for China, and I just got 10 years for China. So now I'm confident, and I'm confident with a lot of things. And I think I'm more grateful that I'm confident because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm glad the exact geopolitical situation is as it is right now, because a few years ago this would have seemed entirely impossible. So this city of Chicago is still largely untouched by me, and not traveled in for me. I've gone to Chinatown a number of times here, and that's really the only familiar area other than this Union Station or downtown area. I think I've been here a lot on Lakeshore Drive, and this is Lake Michigan, which I grew up next to. So I'm familiar with that, familiar with the smell of that. And it costs a little bit of money to get down here and back on the Amtrak. And I feel like it's good to make a day out of Chicago when I come down here. I don't have anything else planned. I can get on a train back in like an hour, or change my train to something a little bit later. But I don't know. Like I could have done more secret purpose things here if I were more organized to do such a thing. Because actually religions, church services and things like that, they're some of the cheapest travel you can do. And that's something that I kind of forget. I feel like it's a module that I developed in a different system, and I have not brought it back into this one. Once I do, it could be good. Because some churches appreciate a donation here or there, but not always. And there's a lot of religious life that exists free of charge. Wow, I just got a 10-year Chinese visa. That's blowing my mind right now. Stop.